Well, folks, it is time to talk about the film that everybody has been talking about, and that is Project Hay. Just kidding. Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will be talking about a new movie called Project Hail Mary. It is the new film directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, the same people who brought to you the Spider-Verse movies and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Who knew? The film is about a brilliant science teacher played by Ryan Gosling, who is then recruited by a government agent played by Sandra Hüller in a mission to try to save the Earth. Basically, the situation is the sun is dying. Its energy is being consumed by these molecular organisms, and this seems to be happening to all sorts of other stars throughout the galaxy, except one. Dr. Grace's mission is to travel to this star to try to figure out why it's impervious to this sort of activity. And when he arrives at his destination, he discovers and befriends an alien life form that he comes to name Rocky. Dr. Grace and Rocky then have to work together to try to save their home planets. I had very little expectations going into this movie because I really didn't know that much about it other than the fact that it was written by the same guy who wrote The Martian, a film that I actually liked. In fact, I think that is probably the last great film that Ridley Scott ever made. So I wasn't really sure how this movie was going to live up to its predecessor, but I tried to keep my expectations in check, and now that I've seen the movie, here's what I thought. It is actually really good. This movie surprised me on a number of levels. For one thing, it is more than just a survival movie. It is a movie about friendship, about camaraderie, about sacrifice, and that is where the movie hits hard the most. In fact, the bedrock of this film, no pun intended, is in fact the relationship between Dr. Grace and Rocky. Throughout the film, you spend a lot of time with these characters as they try to figure out how to understand one another, since these are two completely different species from two completely different planets. And I was truly fascinated by how a friendship was formed between these two characters, especially when one is a human and the other one is basically a rock. And that is a testament to Drew Goddard's writing and to Ryan Gosling's acting. Furthermore, I really appreciated how the filmmakers approached the visuals to this film. From the handheld camera work, to the editing, to the color correction, it wasn't trying to look fancy. I mean, sure, the film does have CGI, but from the way that it's shot, it's very practical looking. You wouldn't even begin to suspect that this was just a high-budget blockbuster that just uses a ton of green screen. I'm talking to you, Marvel. At a certain point, I was even thinking, this is an Amazon movie? It reads more like an independent film that was given an insanely big budget. And because of that, this film felt a lot more personable. I was worried at certain points. Just like The Martian, I was worried that some of the humor in this film was going to get in its own way. But then I had to remember that this film is told through the perspective of Dr. Grace. And then I realized that the humor in this film was basically used as a way to sum up Dr. Grace's entire character. He's an introverted, socially awkward character that has trouble connecting to his own kind, which works very well in the context of the story because throughout the film, we see his character forming a connection to something that is totally alien to him. And yes, I will admit that this film uses a lot of visual references that is clearly derived from other well-known science fiction films, such as Interstellar, Gravity, 2001, Arrival. However, I still think the plot and the characters are wholly unique and original, that they seem to work well on their own. They weren't trying to be pretentious, they were just trying to make a good, accessible movie. And in the end, I think they succeeded. This film has a lot of heart behind it, and I'll be honest with you, I almost teared up in a few scenes, and that's because I cared so much for these two characters. It is truly an enjoyable experience that is not only visually appealing, but also very heartfelt. And because of that, I'm just going to go ahead and give Project Hail Mary an A+. And if you are planning on seeing this, I definitely recommend you seeing it on the biggest screen possible. You won't regret it. Thank you so much for watching my video, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you again next time.